just Jordan. Already. It's just Jordan. It's just Jordan. Jordan. It's about to go down. Let me set things straight. Going up.
What's up, y'all? It's just Jordan. I know it's been a minute. It's been a good minute. And I know I preached last time like I want to stay consistent and whatnot, but I think this time I have to stay the course and I have to let this be the outlet for me to be free, to be creative, because I think that's what I'm missing right now. So that's what brings me to this vlog right now. We're gonna have a good old yap session. We're gonna talk about life. Cause life been lifing. Can't front. Life been lifing so bad. I'm not gonna get into everything because I feel like I shouldn't share that because of the nature of what's happening right now. But I did say I'm going to be more real and raw when it comes to like my vlogs and whatnot, because I feel like when I vlog, I always try to capture like the happy moments, the good moments, the fun moments and whatnot. But I think I also need to capture the bad because like everything is not peaches and rainbows right now. Can't front. So, it is like two things that I do want to discuss. You know, um, it's two major things. So I'll talk about like first of all, a lot of people for the people that don't know, I work within the entertainment industry. TV and film, I worked some game shows, worked reality shows, might have worked on your favorite show. Just a little show like The Real Housewives of Atlanta, from Family Feud, Dr. Pimple Popper, also Lego Masters, just to name a few, and like Divorce Court. Um, so the film industry within Atlanta has become basically like that's why they call it Black Hollywood because literally everything is here. Like everybody's here. And it's where it's at. I can't front. It's you can get caught up in a life. So I just wanted to talk about like those connections because I have a lot of people that reach out to me asking like, how can I get in the industry? What is that like? But I do want to talk about the cattiness of the industry. And I'm not even trying to, you know, down anybody, talk down on anybody that I used to be cool with, but I just want to talk about how it is within the industry. And I think that's fair. I'm not going to mention any names or whatever, and we're just going to keep it at that because I don't want no more smoke with anybody else. So, needless to say, so working within the entertainment industry, it can be very catty. It can be very cliquish. So I my advice when it comes to like getting within the film industry, make your money and go the fuck home. That's that. And that's what I had to learn. And I tried to befriend people and build bonds with people because that's usually what I do. If I'm gonna work on something, if I work on something long term, I eventually grow an attachment to that person because I've worked with you for so long. Why not? Let's open up. But I realized you can't do that with everybody because everybody is not real and everybody is not receiving of that. But needless to say, I worked on a certain game show. Worked on a certain game show that your favorite mustache is the host of. And I worked on that show for since I moved to Atlanta, because I've been here since 2020. So I've worked on that show almost like 4 to 5 years. As an audience coordinator. So as an audience coordinator, you basically, seat the audience, and you have some of the audience that's background people. So we handle those two herds basically. But yeah, basically seating them, overseeing them to where they go, whatever. Um, and I had a lead. We gonna call her We're going to call her Mighty Mouse. So Mighty Mouse was the lead of this show for ample amount of time. And I'm just giving code names. If you take it to heart, oh well. I don't know what to say. Yeah, so Mighty Mouse has been a lead on this show for ample amount of time. And, coming into this show, seeing how she operates, seeing how she works, I admired that so much. So where, maybe I would want to become a lead, So I was making sure I figured how to do this, do that. And, over the year, with me working on that show and other audience, prone shows, I became a lead myself. So I became a lead for like the Miss Pat show, College Bowl. I did a few days on like another game show called The Cube. So it was a few shows that I became a lead on. And I wouldn't even say, and I'm not the type of person to get a big head or anything, whatever, because at the end of the day, we all working towards the same goal. I'm not power driven. I'm collaborative. I ask for others' opinions as well. So I've never just had this power trip or anything, or I had a set way that it needed to go. Of course, as a lead, of course, I implemented a way on how things go, but I always made sure I conferred with my team, like, hey, what did y'all think about this? What do you think we should change? And if I think it's a good idea, let's implement it. Cool. So after a few years went by, I kind of got like annoyed with the audience thing. Like, yes, it was great money because at the time, since me becoming the lead, my pay got bumped up. So even with me being under Mighty Mouse for, shows that she led, I still had my same rate. So, let's just wind down. So, I stopped probably doing lead for audience probably 2 years in. So, I just kept it as doing at Family Feud. I did Family Feud one season. This was 2025, maybe. No, this was 24. So that season and what people don't realize, a lot of stuff happens behind the scenes, like making these shows, and people just do not realize it. It's half the shows. If you watching a reality show, half the time the drama is in the back behind the scenes. It might be on camera, but half the time it's behind the scenes as well. So 2024 of Family Feud. Now, mind you, because I have built a relationship with this team, because this is the same team that I have worked years and years on. We joke, we laugh. This is just something we do because everybody's prone to it. Everybody knows the flow of this, whatever. It's overall fun. That's how that whole vibe was. It was just overall fun. Like, we joke and shit. That's that. This one season, and I'm not a disrespectful person. I tell things how it is. If something is asked from me, I do it. I've never said no that I'm not going to do it. I never huffed and puffed and said no or none of that. I'm just gonna go to what happened that one season before my last season of Family Feud. So tensions had already gotten high at this point for some reason because a lot of the crew on our team were bickering for some reason, and it was little petty stuff. And like I said, this industry can be very catty. The team is most of girls. And then on this season, because usually I'm the only boy, but on that season, we had another boy. Tensions just flared. I'm not going to get into that either. But yeah, tensions just flared for some reason. And everybody had, I don't know, it seemed like everybody had a monkey on their back or something. Everybody Every other day, somebody came in mad, somebody came in irritated, and just the whole vibe just started to change. And that point on, I realized like this whole dynamic is it's never going to be the same. My time may be winding down, and it's like it's because especially when it comes to the film industry, it's freelance. So it's like you never know when a gig is gonna come or go. So it's like when Family Feud is coming around. It's at the beginning of the year, because usually at the beginning of the year, that is the main show that is going on. So, yeah, I knew it was probably coming to an end. Like once realizing that season, what the hell was going on. So this specific day, the lead, Mighty Mouse, had already had an attitude about something. We had some beef about something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but she went into the group message and she had an attitude about something, and she wanted. I forgot what it was, but it was something so disrespectful. Because my thing is, I understand you're a lead, but at the same time, you got to have respect amongst your employees. Like, I don't care if you're the lead or not. You're going to respect me just as well. I'm going to, just as well as I'm going to, I can't even get it out. Just as well as I'm going to respect you. So I want what you want, and I want you to give me the same or whatever. So either way it goes, she said something disrespectful. And I'm like, well, I'm not finna give you the satisfaction nor the fucking respect. So she put something in a group message and she wanted everybody to oblige by it and say copy. I said, whatever, ... copy. And Lord, that went into a whirlwind. All I know is it was a big ass meeting after that day of Family Feud. Once we got all the audience in the van back to the parking lot to their cars, we had to have a meeting. So I already knew what the meeting was gonna be about. So I guess she's just been boiling all day. So we have this long meeting where she's just going off saying that she's tired of the disrespect and she's tired of this, people getting on buses to go other places when she's calling for them, woo-de-woo-de-woo. And, when it comes to this, I want to make sure that we all, that you respect me as your lead or whatnot, this, da, 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 da. But the gist of it, she was just mad because she felt like she wasn't getting the respect that she was owed. But my thing is, you talk to your team in a bit of a nasty way. Little do you know, she probably doesn't realize it. Like I said, she's great at her job, but under pressure, she can talk to somebody very nastily. Very nasty, whatever the fuck, if it's a word, nastily. I'm making it up. So, she can talk to people very nasty. So, like, when that happened, I sat back, I let her talk. She's going off, saying that we don't respect her. We go off to go do this, where she's calling on walkie for us. But I already knew what this whole meeting was about. This meeting was for you to set the stone and show me that you had the power. And I know you have the power. You don't have to remind me. If this was a discussion of somebody disrespecting your power, you should just pull me to the side instead of having a peanut gallery. Because it wasn't for everybody. It was just for me. And the things that she had to say projected everybody else, and it regarded somebody else arguing with her, like, because they like, when you call for me, we're always there. So you can't say everybody. And that's where I get this. When you wanted to have this whole discussion, you should have just pulled the parties aside to talk to them. Everybody wasn't involved in this. So it just didn't need everybody to be in it. But tensions flared, long story short. And the whole thing was about disrespect of power, and little did I know it was like a a big thing to where she had to talk to higher ups about me and whatnot. But my thing is, and this is my thing. I've noticed, because I work with a lot of women, because I'm a male, a gay male at that. I'm not gonna. It's not intimidation. It's like I don't know what to call it, but it's like, because I'm a gay black male. First of all, everybody thinks I'm trying to be sassy. I'm trying to overthrow their power when it's not that. Like I said, we have built a bond to where everybody can joke, everybody can do this, and we still get the job done. So I never understood like what was the problem when it came to that. But yeah, I think because I've noticed it amongst other people that I've worked with, like, because I'm a black gay male, they automatically put me as this, oh, sassy, rolling the neck, rolling eyes. Oh, I don't have to do that. I never give off that, and I don't. I never give that off, because even with me working with them, and within a year, I was able to move up or whatever the fuck. I put in my fucking work when it comes to this industry. I came all the way from Gary, Indiana, worked on Black Ink Chicago, pandemic happened, then moved my ass down here. Didn't have no contacts. I had no contacts. I've worked my way up within this industry. And I don't want anybody discrediting me for that at all. I've put in the work. I've built a name. I'm still building that name. But I've built something for myself to where I know it's going to keep me going up. And I don't want anybody taking that from me, nor discrediting my work ethic at all. I never want anybody to do that, because I would never do that to anybody else. Because like I said, that girl works hard. She knows her job, this whatever. But nobody's ever going to sit up there and paint a picture like I didn't work, nor like, or I had an attitude problem. And I didn't have an attitude problem. If I had an attitude, it was for a fucking reason. So, yeah, that happened that season. So we get to my last season, which was 2025, last year. The vibe was so weird, y'all. I don't know what it was. So because of the previous season, I said I was going to stick to myself. I was going to stay in Holden, where the audience is held, and I'm going to leave it at that. Like, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no problems. I'm going to stay where I know I can't irritate anybody. I can't have nobody saying I'm saying this, I'm saying that. We gonna stay in Holden. And if you need me, I'll come over there. But otherwise, I'm gonna stay my ass right here, because I ain't got time for y'all saying I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I don't want nobody fucking up my money. So, the new stage crew, stayed on stage, and then it was us in Holden for the most part. We cooling, chilling, relaxing, or whatever. And if she called for something, we still do it. Whatever. I know it was one particular incident. We had just started the season. So I had a friend come day play, fill in for somebody, basically, if you don't know film terminology. So she came in and she day played for a few days or whatever. And it was whispers saying that, oh, because Jordan's friend is here, he's acting funny, he's not doing anything or whatever. I do the same fucking thing every day, even when that girl is not here. And either way it goes, I think it just irritates y'all, because that's my best friend. And I'm in her face more now that, that she's here or whatever. But I still treated everybody equally the same. Like, if she was yapping too much, girl, let's go get this done real quick, and then we can yap. Like, that was the type of time I was on. Like, I wasn't treating anybody unfairly. Like, it was none of that. So, it was just whispers throughout the day or whatever, saying that now that she's here, I'm not doing nothing, I'm acting funny. And I'm like, why the fuck is it an open panel discussion about what I'm doing and what I'm not doing, and I'm only acting like this because she's here? Why the fuck is that happening? And while it being an open panel discussion, as a lead, you're supposed to shut that down. And if you felt if you felt any of those feelings that they were discussing, you should have came to me and told me. It shouldn't be an open panel discussion about what I'm doing and what I'm not doing, not amongst people that's below you. So that became a thing. And then this might sound petty, y'all, but this is also like the principle of the thing as well. So the stage crew, started doing these secret potlucks, right? Mind you, the food at Family Feud nasty as fuck. The catering nasty as hell. It might sound petty, but at the same time, it's not. Because it's like the way people were moving about it was weird as fuck. And it didn't make any sense. Ooh, I'm finna get some backlash on this. So, stage crew started having like some secret potlucks, right? Meanwhile, we over there starving and holding, this nasty ass shit. Everybody else, they having sandwich bars and shit, taco salad bars, pot roast dinners, potlucks, macaroni and cheese, all this shit. And like we'll notice it, but like, me, I would kind of brush it off. I peep it and I charge it to the game. That's it. But once everybody started, because I'm like, maybe I'm tripping and I'm not trying to start no other shit. Because I'm like, everybody always on my back like I'm the shit starter. So I'm not even going to say shit about it. But once other people started to bring it up, and then you had people, like if one of the main crew took off, we had day players, like I said. People come in and they would notice it too. We had this one girl. I'm not going to mention her name either because I'm not going to put you in nothing. She said out of her mouth, I can't even front. One time I kind of did feel some way because, they had a whole potluck. And, I'm from the South. So, me being from the South, I'm always going to offer somebody something. She was like, they ate it right in front of me. Like, it didn't say nothing. Like, I can't even front. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And, when you got somebody from the outside saying that says a lot. So, like, literally everybody was saying it. But it's like we never made it a big deal. We never made it a problem. Like, we'll joke like, damn, y'all couldn't bring nothing. Y'all couldn't include us on the order. Like, bitch, we like JJ's. And we talking about JJ's on the fucking West End. Where they sprinkling that damn lemon pepper crack. Like, we like that too. And I'll never forget this one time. So, I'm going to just mention her name. I'm not going to mention her name either because we not what we are anymore. But I'm going to just say light skin. So light skin, was sitting next to me. And we have Twist at the table too. So Twist is putting in an order to JJ's. So Twist putting in an order to JJ's and light skin asked, can she put in with one? So light skin put in the order or whatever. She get her chicken or whatever. So we end our first 2 shows for the morning. So the stage crew come over there. And I'm going to call this one Puffball. So Puffball come in here. She walk up to light skin talking about, oh, you don't need to put in no order or whatever. Who told you to do that or whatever? And we like, why are you checking somebody about, like, putting in orders? Like, what's wrong? Like, what is this division? Everybody's supposed to be a team. What's tea? What is tea? But, and like I said, it sounds petty, but I'm going to be like honest. Like, that whole thing caused a major division between everybody. And it shouldn't have. And my thing is, with her being a lead and you seeing this friction being caused over fucking food, you should have stepped in and say like, hey, let's calm this down. And if we all gonna do something, let's try to include them every now and then. Like, because at the end of the day, this is still a team thing, and it is also a thing called morale. And I feel like that's why my morale went down, because the the essence of the team just declined, and my morale for that just totally declined. But yeah, so that happened, and I remember on the last day. So I think the last day was like the day before my birthday or whatever, or the day on my birthday. So we gonna plan our own little secret potluck for, against the stage crew. We got pizza, we had wings, buffalo dip, pasta and shit. We had a whole, but like a spread. We took a picture and posted it on our story talking about nobody wins when the family feud. And like, it wasn't, of course it was to be petty, but it was only to show like, we want to be included too. Like every once in a while. Like everybody ain't got to act funny. Like it was also instances where they picked up food, went around the building so we wouldn't see to go into stage. Like it just, I didn't like how things played out, because it's just like, it just caused a major division for no reason. Like I said, it sounds petty. But at the end of the day, if you work within a team, you'll understand what I'm saying. And you'll see how attitudes began to flip because stuff like that was prolonging. But yeah, we had did our own little spread. And two of them tried to come in and act like they didn't care or whatever, but Mighty Mouse came in there and I snatched it back. Cause I'm like, what you doing? People put in on this. Just like when y'all put in for stuff. Y'all, it's just for y'all. And she's like, okay, well, I'm sorry. Like, it was just to show. It was, and I'm like, it was to be petty, but that wasn't the major reason. It was to show how the division is for a team. And because you leading a team, you shouldn't want division within your team. So yeah. I also got to point this out, what she did too. So when they had a whole sandwich bar, right? They had a whole spread, a whole Subway line. You could pick your onions, pick your bell peppers, pick your cucumbers and shit, pick your meats, all that. And I remember me and another team member, me and Locks was standing there or whatever. Mind you, she had asked me, did I want a sandwich or whatever over text message. But I was like, nah, I'm good. Because in the back of my mind, I'm like, this isn't offered to everybody else. And I wouldn't feel right eating this when everybody else ain't got it. Because like, I'm gonna take one for the team. Like, if we gotta eat this nasty shit, we gonna eat this nasty shit. Like, I'm not gonna do them like that. So I remember the show had started. Everybody came to that table. The stage crew came to their table, started making their sandwiches and shit. Me and Locks watching the TV that's on their table, and Mighty Mouse looks at us and gave us a look, but Locks didn't notice it, but I noticed it. So I tapped Locks. I said, Locks, let's go. Because I'm like, it's some shady shit going on. And once I told him what was going on, he was like, oh. But yeah, that's one of my stories within the industry. And I try to tell people, like, be careful who you befriend in this. Like, yes, make your connections, woo-doo. But at the end of the day, do your work and go home. Because now it's to the point where I hate I befriended some people. Like, it's very few that I will say that is my friend now. Because, like, a lot of them, I cannot say they're my friends. Them people I just worked with now. It's like literally probably 3 that I say that like it's like a true friend within this industry. Other than that, I will keep them as a work colleague. Because at the end of the day, I got to get this money, and I can't make no friends to where, shit go left and now I can't make no money. Because of that situation, So we get to this year. Actually, we still gonna be in 2025. So that season of Family Feud ended, right? That season of Family Feud ended. So it was other audience shows that popped up over the year. I didn't get a call, but I wasn't tripping. Hey, somebody else make that money. Because I know it's not longevity such as Family Feud, because Family Feud run for like 3-4 months. I'm like, as long as I get a call for Feud, I'm cool. We started trickling down in time. So Feud ended in May. We gonna skip down to November. But it was shit in between. So we get to November, but this is not an audience show. So we get to this marriage market show. I was doing Housewives, so I had just got back to Scotland. So all my people hit me up like, hey, did Mighty Mouse hit you up? She hit me up to, work this show or whatever. Woody, but I can't do it. Literally like 3 or 4 people asked me, did she contact you? I'm like, no, Mighty Mouse ain't hit me up. So it finally got to the day, I think it got to the day I got back from Scotland or the day after. She asked me, could I work? I was like, oh, I must be a last resort because she can't get nobody else. So I'm like, cool, yeah, I do it because when we did Housewives and came back from Scotland, we had a few days off. And I'm not finna turn down no money. So I took it. So I went there and I'm like, this is going to be the benediction whether or not this relationship, this friendship is going to last. Friend and work relationship is going to last. So I get there because I'm like, I'm going to know off body language and I'm going to know exactly where she placed me to. I'm going to know. So I get there, I park, I'm letting her know I'm here. Where do I go? So she's coming down the hill. I'm coming out of a parking garage. So she's coming down the hill. I'm coming out. So we see each other. She give me like this. It was like a hey. It was a dry hey. It wasn't a welcoming hey. I'll say that. It was very dry. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm reading too much into it. I'm like, but that's strike one. So we get down the hill. Lox is working this gig too. So Lox is there. So we get down to the hill. She greets Lox with a warm welcome and gives him a hug. I was like, ooh, T. Okay. So we join everybody else in this lobby or whatever of the studio. She giving a rundown of what's what, where everything at. Cool. So we go to the stations. Because usually when I do audience shows, I do check-in. So, bitch, I got my computer in my hand loud and proud, thinking I'm about to do check-in. So we go into each spot saying where everything is at. So we get to the part where check-in is at. She like, twist, dancer, you do check-in, and I don't know, because I don't know other little girl like that to give her a name. So the other little girl. So she had them 3 do check-in. So I'm standing there with my computer like, so where I'm going to be? And she made me a floater. So usually when somebody puts you as a floater or whatever, you're in between things or whatever. And I'm not saying you don't want to be a floater like when it comes to like certain positions or whatever. But I know what that means. Really, I don't have a means to be here. And that's not usually what I do when I work with you. So that was strike 3 right there, letting me know, like, I already know to be counted out for the next season of Family Feud. So we gonna skip, that was November of 2025. We gonna skip to the end of January 2026 into the beginning of February 2026. So, all my people that previously work, Feud, they like, hey, you got an email or whatever? I'm like, no, I ain't hear nothing. I was like, I kind of don't suspect to get one, to be honest. Because, like, how she been moving. Like, I don't think she fucking with me. And to be honest, I'm not really fucking with her either. Because, like, at the end of the day, I don't really know. I ain't did nothing to her. And if she has a change of heart, then that's her. And it's okay. But, I do feel like this. When you've had a core team for an ample amount of years, I feel like it's allotted to notify someone. So when you sent out emails to the people that you wanted to book, all those people that you have worked with for the past 4 to 5 years deserved an email saying, hey, feud is coming up. I plan to go in a different direction and hope to work in the future soon. Then leave it at that. Because I think it's so foul, especially, when you've developed such a relationship with a person. And that's why I said this is where it comes into effect again, too, where don't get feelings and friendships tied up into the people that you work with, because that shit don't mean nothing to everybody. And this was somebody that I confided in and I looked up to, and the way she did me was absolutely dirty. Because, like I said, everybody else got emails, but I was just patiently waiting. And I knew. And then what also pissed me off was we all knew when Feud was coming back, and we all knew where it was going to be filming. So we have a previous coworker that we worked with. She hasn't worked with us for the past few seasons. So that coworker reached out to her asking her, and I'm spilling tea again. At this point, like I said, I don't care. It's just me talking. I'm not naming anybody. Whoop-de-woo. So we have a coworker that hasn't been with us for the past few seasons. And she reached out to her, I guess, trying to work this season that just passed. And she lied to her and said, she doesn't know where it's going to be filmed at. And they already have their people set in stone. When they didn't. First of all, I'm not in no emails for Family Feud. I'm not in anything for whatever. But people talk. Like this industry is big, but at the same time it's small. So people talk. I knew in November where Family Feud was going to be filmed. I already knew. So we already knew where the studio was going to be at. And then when it came to the audience company, they don't pick, she picked. She already knew who she wanted to get. So if you didn't want to pick her, you should have just told her instead of just lying to her. And that was another thing that pissed me off too. So we get to, I forgot what time of the week this was, but I realized like she not finna call me because I think it had already started or it was about to come up on the start date of Feud. So I had a friend, she was trying to talk some sense like, work is scarce right now. You should just reach out, see what's what, try to apologize. I'm like, I'm not even gonna front with you. Like, as much as I don't want to go back to this show, but I know I need the money. I need the money. And two, I can't give her the satisfaction either because I'm not about to kiss her ass. She chose the people that she wanted to pick. And that's that. And, and that's cool. But I just wish it was respect enough to let me know. That's all I'm asking for. Because, and this is my thing. When it comes to this freelance world, you never have a label with your name on it on that job. Granted, I know that. I've been in this shit for like 5 to 6 years. I know that. So when I just got shut out and nobody said anything to me, I can't lie, this shit hurt. It hurt. And even though it was past discrepancies, I just felt like, okay, maybe this is the time where I do have to let this go and not go back to Feud. Maybe it is time. And then with this being my time, I think this is where I should say what I should say. Because I feel like, yes, you are great at what you do. And I've always told you that you are great at what you do. But when it comes to your team, you're not a good team lead emotionally and respectfully. And you don't like to take criticism. You don't like to take any, ideas. It always has to be her way and only her way. And that's why a lot of people have said she is a power trip person. Um, yeah. So I sent out a long email. I'm not gonna say too much what was in the email or whatever, but I sent a long email basically stating how I felt. Basically saying like, "Hey, I know feud is coming up, and I already know that I'm not getting a call, but I just had to let it be known like I did feel away because regardless of just it being business, we had a personal relationship as well, like to where I was really close to her. Like I was crying sometimes, calling. She would be the first person I would call crying about shit. Um, I told her a lot of stuff that happened to me. Um, I think she was one of the first few people when I told her told about coming out to my mother. Like it was that type of relationship where I felt really close to her. And the way she did me was absolutely, like I said, dirty. Um, to completely just shut me out and not even say anything. Because like I said, I'm not owed anything. I'm not. But at the same time, when you have a core team for so many years, and out of respect because of the relationship we had, I just feel like it was owed to say like, "Hey Jordan, I plan to go in a different direction this year. Moving forward, I wish you nothing but the best on your future endeavors." And I will be totally cool. When I say I would have respected that so much, and I can respect that for because it has happened before. Of course, it's gonna shoot me down, but at the end of the day, thank you for letting me know because now I can get my ducks in order. And I that's what I feel like a lot of people in this industry are so quick to turn their back on people when it's convenient for them. I don't know, but yeah, that right there just and people had always told me don't trust a lot of people within this industry, but for this to happen the way it did, I can't lie, it fucked me up. Be- and and that's how I know it fucked me up to where, because usually I would just shut the fuck up and not say nothing. But for me to at least draw out that email, because I'm like, hey, you sending everybody else emails, let me send you an email real quick. Sent her email stating basically like, I'm kind of disappointed like the way this happened. Like I don't know what's tea or whatever. But I know few coming up. I'm like, bitch, we all talk. So like, it's not like I didn't know that it was coming up. Like I know who on the crew. I know you sent out alignment checks telling people what they could improve on, what they could do better. And my thing is like, it should have been a column to see what you can do better. That's really see. But nonetheless, um, ooh, this blog is gonna start some shit. And it's not meant to do that, but it's just me telling my story within the industry. Like I said, if you get mad, you get mad. Um, there's that. But yeah, I sent a long email stating that I was just disappointed and the whole thing of how everything went. I was saying, I put in work for you so many years, and I appreciate you for the work that you have done. I mean, that you have brought me. But I was just saying, I didn't like being shut out, nonetheless. Like I would have just respected the fact that you let me know. And I don't want anybody to treat me like I'm not an asset to any team because I work hard on anything that I do. So if you wanted to go in a different direction, at least the respect that you could have given me was telling me like, hey, I want to go in a different direction, and that's that. But I remember, and I said at the end of the email, I was like, basically, I said this was me just getting my frustrations out because I pondered on the moment, like if I should say anything, but because of the friendship and the work relationships that we had, I thought it was best that I said all of this to you. I said, I'm not looking for a reply. I don't want you to call me. Don't text me. I don't even want to talk about it. I said, I'm going to leave it right here. And that's that. She emailed me back, saying that, like, if you got time for a conversation, let's talk on the phone. I don't want to talk because there's nothing to talk about. You you shut me out purposely, and there's nothing else to talk about. That's that. Um, I think she even tried to call me later that day. I didn't even pick up because, like my friend was saying, like, you should just call her, talk to her, and just try to get on or whatever. I gotta move on because I can't keep going. Like, even though this is another thing, like I noticed that I needed to stop doing if I wanted to progress. So as seasons went on of that show, I I I started to despise of it. Like, it was so fun, like in the earlier seasons, but like once we got to these last two seasons, it's become stiff, and everybody's offended, everybody's mad, everybody's this that. It was always something. So it became dreadful after a while. And I feel like I was only doing it to get the money. And it's like, yeah, I need to survive, but at the same time, I also got to put me first. And I feel like if I'm not in that environment, I can be. It's no telling where I can end up. It don't. It's no telling what I can book for myself. It's no telling what else could have happened. But I was so busy saying, like, I was so busy on the fact, like, I know Feud is around this time. I just hope I get this. When I could have been putting my effort and time into something else, either creating or hitting other people up to see if I can get on this coming up or that. But I'm glad that everything played out the way it did. I can't front. Like, we don't talk anymore. We're not friends. Like, I just recently worked a show, and I walk past her like I don't even know her. We don't even say anything to each other. She's a gust in the wind to me. So, and it's so sad because, like, I just went to her wedding last year, and so happy. Like, I was so happy for her. But the minute somebody do me wrong and show me their true colors, that's it. That is it. And it's no coming back from that. It's no coming back from that. Because I don't know what the issue was last year, but needless to say, it just put in perspective to me that I just have to work harder for the things that I really want. So that's why I'm doing this vlog right now, because I definitely want to get back into this realm and be consistent with it. Yeah. Cause the the way this industry is really crazy. Like, talking about this again, I got irritated again. I can't lie. I can't lie, because that wasn't even only the situation. I'm not gonna get into another one. Maybe for another yap session. Cause this yap session almost an hour long. So I had other falling outs with people within the industry. And it's crazy because it's like I had like 4 people I fell out with that I was like really close within the industry. And it's sad because, like, them was people that I was getting money with. Like, I was hitting up every other day. Like, we was on the phone and shit, chopping it up. And like, we go to not talking to each other and tunnel vision, like, when we come across each other. Like, this shit is sad. I can't lie. And that's why I said I'll never get close to nobody in the industry ever again. Like, when I say it's only a select few that I like fuck with and I'll go out with, whatever. Other than that, all you bitches is colleagues now. So, like, that is my advice when, like, with coming to the industry. Like, get your money, make your money, and go on by your day. Like, yeah, you could break the ice or whatever, chop it up or whatever, but don't get nobody involved in your life. Because I hate that I did. Because now I don't even talk to this child no more. I'm not, Lord, let me not say she a child, because that's going to start something for sure to this grown woman. And, but yeah. But yeah, that's my yap session for tonight. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do another yap session. Probably next week though, because I got a lot more shit to talk about. All right.